Hey now, welcome to Fitz's Electric Bar. This is what's in my pile. One of the things I'm constantly amazed is that as Record Store approaches and I make a big chunk of purchases on Record Store Day, one would think that I would slow down my purchase leading up to Record Store Day, kind of balance things out. But the opposite happens as I start to get into purchase mode, and sometimes there's a little bit of serendipity and things seem to appear in my record store, used or new, that I feel like I just need to own. And lo and behold, I'm buying even more stuff. So that's been the case leading up to and even subsequent to the Record Store Day has been a lot of purchases. So let's go through it. I'm going to just first of all talk about two books. One of them is, very briefly, this is Nico Caseas' autobiography, memoir as she refers to it. The harder I fight, the more I love you. Big Nico Case fan. Saw her at the Vancouver Writers Fest. And she talked a little bit about the book and, about her life, and very interesting woman, very powerful woman, somebody who I just find vocally and musically is really quite unique, especially vocally. I think that her voice, you just know it the second you hear it. But I think she's got a super fiery personality and in the best sense of the word. And her music and her lyrics are just something kind of unlike anything else, and I love her stuff. So I've just started reading this, got this out of the library. I'm really looking forward to reading it. I think she's had a challenging life, and not to necessarily feed that trope that, challenging life or hardship leads to great art, but I'm looking forward to giving this a good go. Nico Case. And as always, dip more into the music of the artist as I'm reading their book. Another book that I got recently, Hijack My Brain. This will be of interest in particular to Torontonians. This is written by Gary Top. So Gary Top's Toronto. Gary was part of the Garys, and they brought all the great punk and new wave shows to Toronto. I remember right from the early days when I moved to Toronto, when I was in grade 13, and the New Yorker Theater, and they brought Tom Waits, they brought the Ramones. I didn't see either of those shows. I'm so mad that I didn't go to see those when it was, this would have been 76 or 77, I guess. But they were the promoters that brought all the great bands to the Edge. So they arranged to bring Joy Division, and that was the tour that never happened, of course, because of Ian Curtis's suicide. But saw so many great shows there. 999, The Members, Shrapnel, Echo and the Bunnymen. There was just a lot of Ready Records stuff, Blue Peter, Drastic Measures, stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to this. This has got lots of flyers, posters, tickets. That was the Last Pogo, I believe, which was sort of a farewell to punk music in Toronto, and the Horseshoe, I think, closed for a while. And of course, it's back open again and still doing shows, which is great. And the famous, for Torontonians, the famous Police Picnic, where they had the police. One of the famous things in Toronto was that the police played, I believe, the Edge and or the Horseshoe. There were about 40 or 50 people at the show or shows. I think they did 2 nights. And everybody claims that they were there to see the police in their first Toronto shows, which the math doesn't really work out. But the police remained very loyal, I believe, to the Garys. And so when they did these police picnics, I wasn't at them. I don't remember why. But they had, the Specials and Iggy Pop, and just great lineup of acts. And I've heard from friends who were there that it was a really great experience. So looking forward to doing a deep dive on Gary Top's He Hijacked My Brain. Look at that. Ultravox, the John Fox version. Suicide. XTC had a very short live incarnation. I believe one of them, I don't know if it was, I think it was Andy Partridge, had a lot of stage fright. So you didn't get to see XTC very much, certainly this side of the pond. what else is in my pile? So on the record side, when Mazzy was in town, we went shopping and hit my favorite record store, Audio Pile, or one of my favorite record stores, including Neptune and Red Cap, and Zulu. We didn't go to Zulu this time, but Cluster 2, I believe this is their second album. I'd asked my friend Rick, who joined us for the vinyl crawl, what Cluster record I should get. He's quite knowledgeable about krautrock. I don't know if krautrock is pejorative or almost like racist, but apologies if it is. But, a lot of the German math rock and things like that. So I haven't really listened to this yet, so I'm looking forward to that. Another one that's been making the rounds and people have been talking about. I like Jason Isbell. I'm a little bit like Mazzy. I'm not sort of all in, but I do enjoy his material. And this one, just a solo record. And it's really, I'm really enjoying it. I guess you could call this his breakup album. Eileen, Gravelweed, really stick out. Really nice record, just acoustic, solo. I've been, for the last 3 years or something, been going through deep dive of Bert Yanch and Pentangle. This one I managed to get at a reasonable price. This is a music on vinyl release. This, I'm not sure if this is I think this might be their first record, and the Pentangle one, the black and white one, I think is their second. But again, I'm very low on the facts and high on the excitement, so I don't know if I'm accurate here. This is a really nice record. Again, just starting to listen to it. It's got Sally Go Round the Roses, I guess an old traditional song. But yeah, the guitar playing of Bert Yanch and the interplay between Bert Yanch and John Renbourn is just fantastic. And Jackie McShee vocals is great. I got two used records. I walked into Red Cat and there were 2 used records at really good prices. And these were 2 records one I've been looking for, and that is the Pat Metheny and Lyle Mays and As Falls Wichita, So Falls Wichita Falls. And this is a really nice record. This was like $10 and in excellent quality. I usually find with Red Cat that they're the stuff that they bring in, they make sure that the quality is right up there. And the other one is a Herbie Hancock Greatest Hits, so a Blue Note compilation. It's got Watermelon Man on it. It's got Maiden Voyage. But again, this record is, a little bit worn. However, the vinyl is fantastic. It's the quality, it's really well, mastered. And there are just no pops and crackles. It's really something else. I'm very close to all in on Dan Bahar, who is a member of Broken Social Scene, Vancouver resident. Saw him, I'm pretty sure, in the audience when I went to see Jessica Pratt at this little club here in Vancouver that's just a short walk from our house called the Biltmore. But this is his new record, Dan's Boogie. I don't know quite why this is here. I don't know if that's partly a joke. I mean, that's sort of not something that's usually front and center on the cover, but Dan's Boogie, again, everything Dan Bahar does, and under the moniker Destroyer is all right by me. This has just gotten re-released, Pink Floyd metal, and somehow in all of my moves and all of my water damage issues, I have no longer got a copy of metal, and that has been taken care of now. So I need to have this in my collection. So this is great. And it's also a little bit of homework for the movie, The Live at Pompeii. So I'll be going to see that, I believe, on opening night on an IMAX screen, I believe, when I'm in Toronto. And so I've been just kind of refreshing my memory and listening to metal. Way back when my friend Stu Cousins came to town, he was had a record store in Saskatoon called Vinyl Diner. Stu's taste in music is always impeccable, and he turns me on to a lot of good stuff. And he had played this for me. This would be, I I think the second My Morning Jacket. Again, I'm not sure, but it's an early My Morning Jacket release. And this is a reissue. It's got some live Jim James stuff. But, Jim James is, I think, such a great artist. But the production on this, it's very, very, as is the case with a lot of Jim James and My Morning Jacket, very echoey. But just this first hearing of My Morning Jacket and hearing songs like the way that he sings, but this is the 20th anniversary edition, as you might expect. I thought it was all orange, but no, it's a smoky vinyl. Smoke gets in your eyes. At Dawn, the 20th anniversary of that record, triple record. And the one that all of us in Vancouver are talking about. I love that everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. Hopefully they all like it. But Life, Death, and Dennis Hopper, the Waterboys. I've been listening to this on the streaming platform and really enjoying it. And nice to have it in vinyl. What a great cover, right? So it just seems, I heard an interview with him on Word in Your Ear, the two Brits. They do some really nice interviews. And with Mike Scott. And he was talking about how inspired he was by Dennis Hopper. He'd gone to, I think, an exhibit of his photos and then started hearing about his life. And I have to admit, I'm familiar with Easy Rider and Apocalypse Now, and I know a little bit about his story, but and his interaction with Andy Warhol as part of the Factory and part of those screen tests. But this, apparently, according to my friend Rick, follows the Dennis Hopper sort of story. There's a book on Dennis Hopper. I'll drop an image of that book. I think it's available in the UK, not here. And the songs basically trace his life. And so it's a concept album, and the songs themselves are really, really cool. And what I'm also very excited about is right around the time that this came out, the Waterboys announced a tour, and they'll be coming through Vancouver, I think, late summer or early fall. And they're playing the Commodore, which is a small venue here in Vancouver. It's sold out, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that. So it's kind of nice when you get a record that you love and you can, listen to it, do your homework, and then get the chance to see them live in a really one of my favorite venues ever in the world, the Commodore Ballroom here in Vancouver. It doesn't hold a lot of people. I'm guessing about 1,000 or 1,500, I think. So that'll be really, really good. So that's what's in my pile. What are you listening to these days? Carpe diem, motherfuckers.